And our big focus, of course, is on PM-designate Narendra Modi's swearing-in ceremony. He will be sworn in as India's Prime Minister at 7:15 p.m. tonight from the grounds of the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Narendra Modi and his Council of Ministers will be sworn in at the presence of over 8,000 guests, which will be a mix of foreign dignitaries and labourers who have worked on flagship projects of the two previous Narendra Modi governments. Today, PM-designate Narendra Modi began his day with a visit to the Gandhi Memorial, where he paid a floral tribute to the father of the nation. This was followed by a tribute at the Atal Samadhi Sthal in the national capital. Post this, Modi laid a wreath at the National War Memorial. He was accompanied by the chiefs of the Indian forces. Later, he held a tea meeting at his residence, which was attended by more than 30 NDA leaders. Well, my colleagues have spoken to various prospective ministers in the Modi 3.0 cabinet: Ramdas Athavale, Ramnath Thakur and Ram Mohan Naidu. Let's play out these exclusive conversations.
एक बार फिर मोदी कैबिनेट में नई जगह मिलने जा रही है। सर, किनका कॉल आया था और क्या कहा गया?
मुझे सुबह 9:15 बजे माननीय जेपी नड्डा जी का फ़ोन आया था और उन्होंने मुझे बताया कि 11:30 बजे माननीय मोदी साहब के बंगले पर, मतलब उनके कोठी पर आपको बुलाया है। तो मेरा नंबर मतलब मंत्रिमंडल में है, ऐसा उन्होंने बताया है। तो इसीलिए मुझे बहुत बड़ा आनंद है कि नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने तीसरी बार मुझे मौका दे दिया है। मेरी पार्टी छोटी पार्टी है, मेरी पार्टी का एक भी मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट लोकसभा में नहीं है, उसके बावजूद भी मेरा जनाधार जो है पूरे देश भर में है। इसीलिए नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने मुझे मौका दे दिया है और इसीलिए मैं उनका आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। और मुझे जो भी जिम्मेदारी दी जाएगी तो वो जिम्मेदारी मैं निभाने का काम करता रहूँगा।
तो क्या इसका असर जो है महाराष्ट्र चुनाव में पड़ेगा?
महाराष्ट्र के चुनाव में असर पड़ेगा। आने वाले विधानसभा के चुनाव में जो दलित वोट है, जो रिपब्लिकन पार्टी का वोट है, बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर जी को मानने वाले लोगों का वोट है, वो वोट महायुति को मिलने के लिए उसका बहुत अच्छा उपयोग होगा और महायुति जरूर महाराष्ट्र में सत्ता में आएगी, ऐसा हमें पूरा विश्वास है।
हमारे दर्शकों को कविता के रूप में क्या बताएंगे सर?
अभी कविता ये बताना चाहूँगा कि मतलब राहुल गांधी ने और अखिलेश यादव ने, ममता बनर्जी ने, हमारे मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे जी ने बहुत काफ़ी मतलब कोशिश की थी, लेकिन जिस तरह यहाँ के देश के लोगों ने दे दिया है इंडिया आघाड़ी को धोखा, देश के तमाम लोगों ने दे दिया है सत्ता स्थापन करने के लिए इंडिया आघाड़ी को धोखा, इसीलिए नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने दे दिया है मुझे मंत्रिपद का मौका।
चलिए सर, आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। तो रामदास अठावले कह रहे थे कि इंडिया गठबंधन को जनता ने धोखा दिया है, इसलिए मोदी ने हमें मौका दिया है। कैमरा पर्सन अवधेश चौरसिया के साथ मनोहर केसरी, इंडिया न्यूज, दिल्ली।
Like I told you, I am feeling very happy. It's a great opportunity to be a minister at a young age. So let's hope for the best for the state of Andhra Pradesh and the country also.
So what are the demands of TDP?
We want to make the state number one in the country. So we will try to achieve that with the cooperation of NDA and central government and Modi ji.
So you are one of the youngest. PM talked about Viksit Bharat. So what's your take on that?
See, this is also a motive of NDA where we want to encourage young people to come up, achieve their dreams. So I'll stand as a representation for that.
Thanks a lot sir, for speaking to us. So there you heard, the youngest who is going to be a part of the cabinet in the Modi 3.0, Ram Mohan Naidu. Perhaps he talked about the contribution he would love to make in the Modi's cabinet. And yes, as customary, they are going to Prime Minister's residence for a tea ceremony. In New Delhi, camera person Gopal Akshit Gupta for NewsX.
बातचीत करने के लिए जदयू सांसद रामनाथ ठाकुर हैं, जो केंद्रीय मंत्री पद की शपथ लेने वाले हैं। प्रधानमंत्री ऑफिस से इनको कॉल आ चुकी है। सीधे बात करते हैं। सर, इंडिया न्यूज़ ITV नेटवर्क की ओर से आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई हो।
धन्यवाद।
प्रधानमंत्री की ओर से आपके पास कॉल आई है, अभी आप चाय पे जा रहे हैं?
हाँ, जा रहे हैं।
क्या कहना चाहेंगे जिस प्रकार से आप पर भरोसा जताया गया है?
भरोसा पर उतरने का काम करेंगे अपने नेताओं का, प्रधानमंत्री जी के पर भरोसा जो मेरे जैसे छोटे आदमी पर उन्होंने किया है, जो जिम्मेदारी देंगे उसको निश्चित रूप से ताकत के साथ उसको निर्वहन करने का काम करेंगे।
अभी PM के पास जाएंगे, क्या बातचीत करेंगे? अपने दिल की बात?
ना आप कैसे बात करेंगे? वो उन्होंने चाय पर बुलाया है, वो ना कहेंगे कि हमने इसलिए इस काम के लिए चाय पर बुलाया है।
कर्पूरी जी को भारत रत्न दिया गया, आप उनके लड़के हैं, कैसे देखते हैं इस लेख?
हम प्रधानमंत्री जी के प्रति कृतज्ञता ज्ञापित करते हैं, अपने दल के नेता नीतीश कुमार जी के प्रति कृतज्ञता ज्ञापित करते हैं कि जननायक कर्पूरी ठाकुर जी को 36 वर्षों के बाद 23 जनवरी 2024 को उन्होंने भारत रत्न जननायक कर्पूरी ठाकुर को देने का काम किया। हम कृतज्ञता ज्ञापित करते हैं अपनी तरफ से, अपने परिवार की तरफ से, बिहार की जनता की तरफ से।
जातिगत समीकरण को भी साधने की कोशिश की गई है और एक लोगों को
निश्चित रूप से जो छूटे हुए काम है उस पर हम लोग करने का काम करेंगे।
बिहार की ओर से आप कैबिनेट मंत्री बनने जा रहे हैं, आपको शपथ दिलाई जाएगी, तो आपकी क्या प्राथमिकताएं रहेगी?
बिहार को आगे बढ़ाने का, बिहार के साथ पूरे हिंदुस्तान को जो अनछुए पहलू हैं उस पहलुओं को छूकर उसको आगे बढ़ाने का।
रामनाथ ठाकुर की एक बड़ी प्राथमिकता बिहार के लिए, जैसे स्पेशल राज्य का दर्जा की बात हो, क्या
अब तो जरा वो होने दीजिए तो उस पर बातचीत किया जाएगा। ये अभी ये मुद्दा प्रधानमंत्री जी क्या।
रामनाथ जी, एक आखिरी सवाल है, जैसे नीतीश कुमार को लेकर के लगातार विपक्ष भी हमला कर रहे थे और कह रहे थे कि अब जो है सो घड़ी आ गई है, और नीतीश कुमार ने भी कहा है कि हम प्रधानमंत्री के साथ हैं।
प्रधानमंत्री जी के साथ हैं तो जिम्मेदारी है, जिम्मेदारी को निभाएंगे।
चलिए, आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। रामनाथ ठाकुर जो केंद्रीय मंत्री की शपथ लेने जा रहे हैं और प्रधानमंत्री ने इनको चाय पर बुलाया है और इन्होंने कहा है कि बिहार के लिए हो या देश के लिए हो, वो जो है सो पूरा काम के लिए तत्पर रहेंगे। कैमरा पर्सन अवधेश चौरसिया के साथ मनोहर केसरी, इंडिया न्यूज़, दिल्ली।
Akshat Gupta is joining us live for more details on this story. Akshat, it's all but clear now who all will be part of this Modi 3.0 teams. Which are the big names that have been included? Any surprises, and what all factors have been considered while deciding the team, Akshat?
Well, yes, all eyes now fixed on the mammoth swearing-in ceremony, which is going to take place at 7:15 p.m. At Rashtrapati Bhavan, and perhaps the preparations have also been ramped up at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. You very rightly talked about the names which have been finalized for the swearing-in ceremony and who all are going to be inducted in the cabinet. The Modi 3.0. We saw how the ministers Piyush Goyal, Chirag Paswan, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, went to Modi's residence for the tea ceremony, and also the new candidates, the new perhaps the ministers in the fray who are there at the residence are TDP's Ram Mohan Naidu, one of the youngest. We also spoke to him exclusively, and perhaps Chandrasekhar also, who is a doctor, and then Jitan Ram Manjhi and other leaders of JDU, including Ramnath Thakur, who is the son of former CM of Bihar, Karpuri Thakur. So these are all some of the names which are now the probable names for the ministerial positions in the Modi cabinet. Yes, the negotiations are going on, because the JP Nadda and Amit Shah, of course, taking up the negotiations at levels as to how to accommodate, the allies also in the cabinet, because it's rather more of a balancing act. And if I just also tell you very exclusively, then Prime Minister also spoke to his colleagues at his residence and asked them to focus on the 100-day plan, also to focus on their respective ministries which will be allocated to them for the development of the nation, perhaps reiterating his statement of Viksit Bharat by 2047. So of course all eyes fixed on it, and most probably more than 25 ministers will take oath in the Modi cabinet today, and the strength will be approximately 81.
All right, Akshat, stay with us. In fact, we also have Himanshu Bhatt, senior journalist, joining us now on the broadcast. Himanshu Bhatt, which names have particularly surprised you or stood out for you today that have been included in this Modi 3.0 team? And also, what do you believe is the main messaging from the selections and perhaps exclusions as well?
I'll answer your second part of the question first. And that is, the main message behind the selection is to include everything, to be inclusive. And for that, you can see, something like someone like Ramdas Athavale, again getting a place despite not having a member in Lok Sabha. A member of NDA gets a place. So that is all inclusive formula. You are having a person somewhere from Assam, somewhere from Northeast also in this ministry. Similarly, one seat Kerala and, not so good Karnataka this time. And maybe, Tamil Nadu without a seat, also getting a representation from Lok Sabha. It's something different, When Nirmala Sitharaman or S. Jaishankar, if you call them from Tamil Nadu, but they are elected from other places. Jaishankar is from Gujarat. So that way Gujarat's representation goes up. So here, they have tried to be all inclusive, but at the same time, not changing the core of the government. They have included people from the other parties, from the NDA alliance, to blend in with the original core of the ministry, which happens to be these 5-7 people. In that you can include Jaishankar, Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh, Nirmala Sitharaman, then Piyush Goyal. This form the basic core, Along with it, some of the infrastructure, other ministries like Nitin Gadkari and other people. And with them, if you put in people who are the first timers, it's something like, preparing the second cadre, giving them the responsibility and preparing the second cadre. So I'm not surprised, basically, if a little more representation is given to the partners. And you will see that in the total number when it comes out. That, it might not be 4:1. It might be 4:1 for BJP, but it might be 3:1 for the allied partners. This will happen because they will want to keep everyone happy. And if that is what is a coalition dharma, you call it, it's a coalition dharma. But apart from that, there will be no coalition dharma as such. Because the policies of the government, Narendra Modi 2.0 is going to continue. There might be a change in the guard of a ministry here and there from the core ministries. But otherwise, nothing else is going to change. The foreign policy is exactly going to go the way it was going. Maybe it will be more aggressive and proactive rather than reactive. India-centric, but proactive. And that you are seeing neighborhood first, but very clear, but for one. And it's made clear to the world by not inviting Pakistan. No formality is being done there. Now, what does it show? It very clearly shows, that for coming 5 years, we are not going to give you anything. We are not going to talk to you, how much ever you cry, or whatever you try to do. We are going to be adopting a policy of smell the coffee, it's morning, it's new morning, and you be what you are. So that way, I am seeing this government acting proactively, and for that, the ministerships have been decided. They have been given a lesson that this is the way you will work. This is the way we are giving you opportunities. Now we want you to deliver. In that sense, I'm not finding anything, anything surprising here. And what I'm finding is, yes, some people, some heavyweights, some big names who have lost have not been included. So that is also a right thing. Because if you don't get the people's mandate, you basically can't. And that is what this ministry, 3.0 is seen. Very clearly it is seen. And you will see, a particular state which was getting heavy importance, 10, 15 ministers, is not going to get that importance in this ministry because of the compulsion of the seats. You will have to accommodate other people. And that is what is being done. Because in 240, if a state gets 70 seats, we'll have board of ministries. But when, in your tally, when you have a state with just 30 seats, that will go represented by that many number of ministers.
Yes. Rajlakshmi Joshi, political analyst, also with us. Let's get her in as well. Rajlakshmi Joshi, what do you make of the balancing act that the Modi government has adopted? Pleasing allies, not bending over the backwards for them. Making sure, of course, that there is adequate representation of women, the youth, and also the states where, of course, the BJP has done well, but also where it sees potential in the future.
Yes, Sudhir. What I see is there is this sense of inclusiveness, and at the same time, it is not as if there is some compromise. See, for example, let me tell you about the young to-be ministers especially from the TDP. So, especially the person who stands out is Ram Mohan Naidu. See, he is somebody who is young and he is a well-educated person, and at the same time, he is somebody who has very progressive ideas. He is someone who took a paternity leave right in the middle of the budget session. So, and he has been performing really well in the parliament also. So he is a second-time parliamentarian, and at the same time, he is somebody who is full of a lot of ideas. So he is an MBA, and he is also somebody who can bring a lot of freshness, and at the same time he is politically also he is representing the TDP. So even the other person also, he is a doctor. So they're not somebody who is like just as a compromise, I would say. So they are somebody who can bring a lot to the table. So this I see this as something that people who have performed well, like for example Anupriya Patel, she is somebody who has just one seat, but at the same time she is somebody who actually has been a loyalist of the NDA, and at the same time she has been performing well as well. So similarly, Mr. Bittu from Punjab. So even though he actually lost, but he did very well in the urban areas, and he lost in the in the rural sections.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.